Hey guys, this is Andrew, back with you once again for PokerSavvy Plus, and this is part 2 of my $25 No Limit series. As you would have known from part 1, this is a series about establishing reads on your opponents, and what we are doing in this series is formulating significant and detailed reads on our opponents, and then we're going to be exploiting their tendencies. I don't think I got too much into really that many interesting spots last session. I think there was the one hand where I managed to get my stack in with 12 clean outs with the flush draw. That was kind of interesting, but I do make a pretty solid comeback in the last sort of half of the session. So we'll get straight into it. If you haven't seen part 1, go ahead and watch it. It is actually quite important that you watch part 1 because obviously we are building reads, and the beginning of that. The basis of those reads was put down in part 1, so go ahead and check it out. I wanted to start with this was the hand we left off on, this king queen here. I just wanted to start on this one because I realized that my justification for the continuation bet was really poor. I think that this is a pretty easy check back on the 10-7-5 flush draw board. For pretty obvious reasons as well. I mean, this guy only has like $7 left in his stack. He's got less than half a buy-in remaining. And this board is very textured, it's very wet, he's going to hit it a lot of the time. It's true that I do have 2 clean overcards and a backdoor flush draw. My overcards are going to be clean most of the time, but I don't think that this is the correct board texture to be betting on, and I think that's reasonably obvious as well. So yeah, I would have preferred to see myself go ahead and check that one behind. And either try and showdown king high versus something weird, or catch a king or a queen on the turn. So yeah, I think I sort of stumbled a bit with my rationale there in the last part, but I think it's a pretty clear check behind, and I'm not happy with my bet. So as you saw from the last part, he goes ahead and checks the turn, and I'm making my note here again, and we check behind, catch a queen, and put him in on the river, and he folds. So all's well that ends well, I guess. So you'll see on the tables here that I'm starting to formulate some reads on a lot of the players here. So you can see from the little note icons, I've got reads on 4 players here, which is good. I only need a read on this last guy, and then I'll have some pretty good information. Down here, not so much, but you can see like around the tables, I am starting to put some notes down, which is obviously going to be beneficial. This 5-4 here, I would 3-bet if he was deeper in some circumstances, because 5-4 is a good hand to have in a polarized 3-betting range, just because it's very easy to get away from post flop. But obviously with only $16 in his stack, I think he's a little bit too shallow, because the pot to stack ratio is going to be a little bit warped on the flop. So I think folding there is fine. Calling, not really an option. We're not really strong enough to call in that situation.